Hey, my name is Mike, and this is a too long didn't read guide for Zool and Uldir. Phase 1 is primarily ad management and cleaving onto the boss. Make sure you kill the first set of ads before the next set spawn. 2 blood hexers spawn on opposite sides of the room and are your first priority. CC one of them and then death grip the other one onto the boss. Make sure the blood hexers never get within 20 yards of each other or else they'll start healing all enemies. Interrupt blood shard as it deals damage to the player with the least amount of health. Congeal blood is a non-interruptible cast that spawns a blood glob. Stun the blood hexer to interrupt this ability. If you can't stun, make sure not to fight this ad on top of the boss because the glob that spawns will move towards the boss, and if it reaches him, heal him for the amount of health it had. If this ad spawns, it can be slowed and stunned. The Crusher is your second priority. He has a frontal cleave, so make sure not to tank him facing the raid. At 100 energy, he'll cast a spell indicated by this large red circle around him. If the boss or an ad are caught inside this circle, they will do 50% more damage for 40 seconds, and this buff can stack. Ideally, this ad should be fought on the boss and then moved out before he casts this buff, and then brought back so the raid can kill him. The final ad is a pack of bloodthirsty Krogs. The raid should be stacked up on the boss so these all can be clumped together, stunned, and AoE'd down. Whenever a Krog deals damage to someone, they heal for 200% of the damage they inflicted, and when they get to full energy, they suicide, inflicting a large amount of damage to the raid over 10 seconds, probably causing a wipe. Throughout this phase, the boss will be doing damage to random people with Shadow Barrage and does not need to be tanked. One tank will have the Blood Hexers and the other will have the Crusher. If you get this orange aura circle thing around you, move away from the raid. It deals less damage to the raid the further away you are. Ideally, bring it to one of the set of stairs on the side. When it expires, it spawns minion of Zool ads which fixate random players. Dispel the damage absorption they have on them and kill them before they get to their targets. And finally, around the room you'll see these dark puddles on the ground. They last for 20 seconds and someone needs to soak them or else the entire raid will take a bunch of damage. The person that soaks this will take damage every 2 seconds and may require some cooldowns to be cast on them. Alternatively, you can have 2 people trying to soak these or just have a third tank for them. Phase 2 begins at 40% and you can use your offensive cooldowns here. Try to ensure you push this with no ads up. If you do have ads, they need to die immediately before anyone starts attacking the boss. If you have one blood hexer alive, you can try and keep it CC'd for the rest of the fight. In this phase, the entire raid will get a permanent stacking dot, so you should try to save your defensive and healing cooldowns for the damage that'll be taken. No one except the main tank should be in front of the boss because rupturing blood is a frontal cone Zool will do. This applies a stacking 20-second dot on any one hit. Tanks should be swapping around 2 stacks. When the dot expires, it creates a large blood pool on the ground. Because of this, you will need to move the boss around the room. There's 2 other mechanics in this phase. The first one is the dark puddles on the ground. They continue to spawn and may even spawn inside of a blood pool. The second is Deathwish. This is cast on random players and causes them to walk towards the edge of the platform and jump off to their death. When this is dispelled, or if they end up jumping off the edge, the raid will take damage based on how far away that player was from them. So make sure to dispel this when they're close to the edge. In addition to that, minion of Zool ads will spawn from this ability and should be dealt with the same way as in phase 1. That was a too long didn't read guide for Zool. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.